Hi there, crafty friends. Welcome and thank you for joining me. My name is Melissa Miller. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Southern California. And today I want to make a super quick and easy card using the Friendship Royalty stamp set. You get two different size crowns. We will be using the larger one. You get several really nice sentiments in there, a little swirl of stars, and you can also do a wand. Now this card is super easy, and we're going to walk through that. I used the bubble bath for my sample here, the ink, and then my layering piece is Moody Mauve, but we are going to change it up a little bit. We are going to go ahead and use Boho Blue. But first we need a mask. And I went ahead and cut my mask from my Avery removable labels, and I'm using these only because I still have them left. Stampin' Up! Has masking paper, but I haven't purchased any yet because I just didn't need it. So I encourage you to use that if you have it, but I will have a link to their masking paper in the description below, along with everything else we've used. Now, my heart here, right now, Stampin' Up! Does not have a large heart like this, and I have had this die in my stash for probably 20 years. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and use. And I just kind of centered it. I really eyeballed it, looked to make sure the sides and the top and bottom were pretty even. And then I cut that out of there. And we need our mask, which is what we've got going on here. So let's take our card panel, and we are going to attach our mask to our card panel. And it's pretty simple. You just got to get that lined up. So we're going to just put this on there. And I find it easiest to kind of hold the bottom and get that nice and centered. And then we will put that on there just like that. Perfect. So let's bring in a piece of scratch paper, and we are going to make our card using the Boho Blue ink. I got a couple pieces of dust on there, it looks like. And I want to try to tap off as much as I can. I don't want any harsh brush strokes on here. So we're just going to tap off and then bring in our color, and we're going to concentrate on the edges. I want to keep kind of a shadow there in the center, so it looks a little more dimension, like it's got a little more dimension. I want to keep that white in the center for like a shadow effect. And turn your brush every way. We want to make sure that we get all the way around there really good. And I think that's actually probably pretty darn perfect right there. And this card came together so quickly. Oh my gosh. It was just really quick. Okay, so perfect. Now we can take off our mask, and you can save this. You can reuse this mask and do multiples, which is what I like to do, because when you've got the supplies out, you might as well make multiples, and then you've got them on hand. Okay, so that came off pretty easily. Now this ink, I'm just going to stick that up there so I can reuse it. This ink is still wet. It may not seem like it, but if we were to put our embossing powder on there right now, it's going to stick to parts that we don't want. So I am going to first check my alignment on my Stamparatus, and I think it's probably pretty good because I did a couple of these. That's pretty good. I just want to make sure that the top of the crown is over in the center of the heart. So what I'm going to do here real quick is I'm actually just going to give this a little trim, I think. Which way does that need to go? Yes. My paper needs to go over a little further. I don't have any room to push it over a little further. So I'm just going to trim a little sliver off of my paper, and let's see how that looks. Oh, that's so much better. See, that's almost right in the center of the heart. We could actually do one more sliver. And when you cut your panel, I started at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but you know what? It's not always perfect. It's not always perfect. So let's look at, oh, now that's going to be perfect. And all we did was just take a little sliver off of there. So I'm going to, before we bring in our embossing powder, I'm going to take my heat gun and I'm just going to go over this just a little bit to get that ink dry on there. And then I'll be using my Versamark and we are going to heat emboss in gold. So let's go ahead and do that. And that's perfect. As soon as you see that powder turn shiny, you know that you are done and you don't need to heat it anymore. I love that. Okay, so let's get cleaned up. While I'm doing that, I just wanted to mention that we do still have bonus days going on until July 31st. So for every I am tongue-tied today. For every $50 that you spend, you can earn a $5 voucher that you can spend in August, which is really nice. I love it when they do bonus days because you get paid for shopping, which is kind of cool. I guess you could look at it that way. That's how I look at it. You're kind of getting paid for shopping so you can purchase more stuff later on. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that out of the way. Now, what I did here was I actually trimmed this down because my panel, I want to have a nice layered piece there. So my panel, I'm going to trim to 4 by 5 1/4. We started with 5 1/4 by, or 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. We're going to trim to 4 and 5 1/4. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm actually going to walk over and do it on my other trimmer. Okay, so I've got my panel all trimmed out, and I actually took my Boho Blue piece, I am tongue-tied, and also trimmed that out to fit perfectly. Now we need to add our splatters. So let's bring back in our scrap paper here, and you can do this one of two ways. You can add the ink to your block if you want to, just like that, and then add a little water, or you can use your re-inker and add a drop of ink and add water. Whatever you have, utilize what you have. If you don't have the re-inker, just add it to your block with water and it'll work perfectly. I'm using my aqua painters here. Just going to put a drop of water, mix that up. You know, I kind of want that a little darker, but I think we'll see how it looks. And we'll just add our splatters on there. I think that's perfect. Good. We don't want to add too many. Now to clean this off, I just take my microfiber towel, wipe it off on there, Oops, and the same with my paintbrush, my aqua painter. I just run that clear, keep squeezing the water through there, and that's good. Then we can put these supplies away and continue with the card. So here, we just need to add this to, oh, and I got ink where I didn't want to, but that's okay. We're just going to add this to our layering piece. I think we might want to hit that with the heat gun just to make sure it's dry so I don't smear anything. That should be good. Let's add our glue. So like I said, I will have links to everything I used in the description below. Don't forget about bonus days. You've only got a few days left. Well, I think today is the 16th, so you've got until the 31st. We're just going to attach this, and because we are using liquid glue, we can shift that any way we might need to. And I'm going to put a block on there real quick just to hold that down. That paper did get a little warped from the heat embossing, so that should be good, just like that. And then I am going to go ahead and I am going to use a piece of fun foam to layer this before I put it on my card panel. And that is sized perfect for that. So let's let that sit on there for a minute. I will add my tear and tape, and then we will attach that. All right, there we go. I've got my fun foam added with my tear and tape to both sides. And it looks like we got splatters on our card base. So we will just go ahead and flip that over so we can cover it up. There we've got our card panel with our card, and we are almost done. This was so simple. So for this one, I am bringing in our 2023 through 2025 in color dots, and I really like these because they have such a low profile. They don't stick out real far, and they are just perfect for this. So let's add these into our crown. And I'm using the Boho Blue. They are self-adhesive, so they already have the stick on the back, and we can just place those in our crown. And I didn't do it in every single, little oval there on the crown. I kind of just skipped a couple here and there. I didn't want to use up all my gems, but of course you could if that's what you want to do. So we've got those on there. Let's add a couple little accents down here. I think we'll use medium here. We'll put that there. A smaller one up here. And then another, let's do a medium over here. Just like that. And that's perfect. We're done. Oh my gosh, this was so simple. And like I said, while you have the supplies out, make sure you do extras. So we've got our sample in the bubble bath. I've got my Boho Blue. I also did one in Gorgeous Grape. And for my gems on this one, I used our adhesive backed sparkle gems, and these are so sparkly. Those just add so much shine to your card. So I've got these, and then if you don't have any kind of a shape die that you can use to mask, that's okay. You don't have to have one. I made some little mini cards here with our basic white note cards and envelopes. These are in the online store, and these are a perfect little size. I just took my panel and I ink blended around the edges, left the white in the middle just for a little accent there. Same thing with the gorgeous grape. And then I also did the boho blue on that one. Now those are so pretty. Anybody would love to get one of these in the mail. So if you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.